I hope everybody is doing great. So today I would like to welcome all of you to the second episode of the series Enlighten with Now. First of all, I would like to thank each one of you who has liked the video last time and who has given time to watch that video. I got a lot of texts over WhatsApp and Facebook congratulating me on the first video, and I am really happy the kind of response that you guys gave on the first video. So before we go ahead, I would really like to request you all to please subscribe the channel on YouTube. The name is almost enough, the link is in the description. So the topic for today's session in Enlighten with Now is problems. Problems, the complaints attached to them, and the first aid. So maybe you have not really heard about this concept called first aid to the problems, but I would really like to bring this out today. So how can we approach a problem in a different scenario, be it on the personal front or the professional front. So I would try my best to bring out a new concept in terms of understanding, and maybe the next time you face any problem, I'm hoping that it would be a little better. So as you all know, the center of today's session is problem, their solution, if there is a solution, how to approach with it, and then one very important topic that I would like to bring to each one of you, first aid to every problem. So what is a problem exactly? So if I go by the dictionary meaning of problem, it is a situation which has to be dealt with, or a situation which has to be solved for the life to go ahead. And problem and life are synced pretty well. Everybody who has life would have problems. So हम लोग क्या करते हैं when we get problems? What do we do? The first thing that we get into problem. The first thing that most of the people do when they have problem is to complain about the problem. You would hear a number of times that even if you meet your friends, your family, you go out to meet your colleagues, everybody tells you, there are a lot of problems, complaints. But is it the right approach? I would say, or we should say, no. Complaining is not the right approach to a problem. So just to explain the concept of complaint and problem, I have a small story to tell you. So there was a time, again, as I mentioned last time, this is a story which is nothing to do with the real facts. So don't really correlate with one or two people or anyone. So I took it from a story by Osho. So that's where I got reference from. So it's a story in a book written by Osho. So I have taken the reference from there, and here I want to bring it to you. There was a time, pretty old times, a guy who had a lot of problems. He thought that he had the maximum number of problems in the world. So at the time he used to sleep every night, he used to pray to the Lord that, Lord, please solve my problems. Lord, please solve my problems. And then after a certain period of time, his prayer changed to, I guess I am the person who has the most problems in the world. So Lord, can you kindly change or maybe exchange my bag of problem or my problem to anybody else in the world who has less problems, right? So he always thought that the people he is meeting outside, in his home, his family, or the people whom he meet at the workplace, whom he meet at the work, that's also workplace or in the market or at the shopping center, they all have less problems. That's what he always thought. So what he did was, he prayed to the Lord that, hey Lord, please solve my problems. Hey Lord, please exchange my problems. Please exchange my problems with anybody else. One day when he was deep asleep, he saw a dream that the Lord himself made an announcement that tomorrow in the morning, everybody can fill all his problems in a bag and come to the temple hall. So what he did the next morning was, he rushed to the almirah, pick out a big bag, and he put all his problems in it. And then he was rushing towards the temple. While he was rushing towards the temple, he noticed a lot of people are actually running towards the temple with a bag. And then he somehow realized that bag or their bag is a little bigger than his own bag. So what eventually happened was, when the whole city was running towards the temple, the god made another announcement that please every one of my child, please get into the town temple hall and then put your bags aside, right? Put your bags in front of you. So everybody did the same. They all put the bag in front of them, and then God said, guys, you are free to exchange. You can exchange your bag with anybody else. You can pick any bag in the hall, and then you all are free, right? So this is one movement that everybody has got. So you can exchange your bag with anybody who has less problems, and God is willing to exchange them. So guess what happened next? If there are guesses, let me tell you what happened. So everybody ran back to their own bag. Why? It happened, yeah. Everybody loved their own bag, because somehow everybody thought that all those bags which are not theirs are slightly bigger than their own. So in the real world also, we just think about our problems, but actually the people that we meet on the street, we meet in the school, we meet in the colleges, we meet at our workplaces, we meet in the family gathering, maybe they all have bigger problems than us, right? But yet they are smiling. So in life, we might have problems and we might be looking for solutions for them, but there is one thing, that life must go on. So the next time when we complain and we think, okay, this person has got less problems, or maybe that person has got a lot of problems, believe you me, everybody has got his portion of problems already. So we have to really focus on the solution part for our problems and deal with the situation. So that is one thing that we all have to do. And before I close this nice story, the moral of the story is that yes, there are problems, but please be sure that God is there, and also the fact that there is a definite solution for every problem. And the word impossible spells itself as I am possible. So if you are willing to deal with your own problem, you would sooner or later get to a solution. Now, I am talking about the very important part in today's session, the first aid method for any problem. So in the professional life or the personal life, we might come across a number of scenarios wherein we just get a new situation, we just get into a new problem, and we are just worried about this new situation, and then we just think about this possible scenarios, what may happen next and what are the possible solutions to it. But before going for n number of solutions, I would suggest you a small thing which you can start applying from today right away, and I am sure this would help you. Most of the situations that the generation or all of us face are either to do with the personal matters or the professional matters. And when I say personal or professional, so the life of a student is in college, school, and then home, or maybe tuition center, and then maybe somebody, so like friends on the playground, either and it always has to do with people, right? Everybody has to do with people. And the life of a college goer is almost the same kind of scenario as well. And when we start working, right, so then we have colleagues, we have a personal life, we all have our families back home, and then this situation is for the people who are working. So everybody has either the personal kind of a problem in the social circle that he has, or in the professional ground with the office colleagues or somewhere. So next time whenever there is a problem, take a step back and think about this first aid method. As the name suggests, first aid. So whenever we get injured, before rushing to the hospital, everybody says, had there been first aid in the serious situations, right? Had there been first aid, the situation would have been better, right? And sometimes because of the first aid, we treat the people well, right? We just get the cure done right there, right now. So what is first aid for problems? If you spell A-I-D, the first aid comes out of these three letters. Let me tell you how to react with them. A means ask. So whenever there is a problem and you feel something is not right, so let's start with the family part. So if you feel someone in the family is not behaving as he used to, or she or he is not behaving the way she used to or he used to, and something is not right maybe with that person, always go and ask. This is the quickest thing that you can do. Please ask. Don't ignore that part from long. So we see a lot of scenarios wherein the kids go into depression, even the school going kids, right? So the brain problem with them that nobody asks them questions, right? Whenever they come home, maybe you are asking questions, but maybe in a a little stricter way. But ask in the right manner, and just be friends with them, and counsel them, and then ask. The second part is I. So I is always informed. Maybe me and one of my friend, we had a fight or an argument, which is done for the person, right? So we had an argument, and the next day I am thinking everything is good, and we have moved on. But maybe I said something which that person does not really took in the right spirit, or maybe I said something which was not meant to be taken into the right spirit. So maybe there was a problem in what I said, right? So what I should do in that scenario is I should inform, right? I should inform the person the next day that this is something that maybe I did not say in the right manner, and if I am at the receiving end, I should inform the other person that this is something that I really did not appreciate, that whatever happened. So in case you have a problem with anyone, inform that person. So the first part is ask. So whenever you see anyone in problem, just go ahead and ask. Whenever you have some problem with anyone, inform that person. And the last and but not the least, the golden part is discuss. So once you ask or once you inform about the fact, always discuss. And believe you me, discussion is the solution to 90% of the problems. So if you just go ahead and discuss that this is the scenario, and maybe I did not like this part, believe you me, most of the situations, most of the problems are already solved. So what happens is, if we find something bad, we just feel bad about it. We just keep it within us, and we don't tell that person knowingly and unknowingly, which might be the scenario that person has said something or did something, and we don't tell, we don't discuss, we don't inform, we don't ask anything, and then this problem just gets on to become a whole lot of stress, distress, and situation becomes unavoidable at times. So if you just follow these 3 simple steps in all the scenarios, be it on the professional ground with any of the colleague, or at your home with the family members, or with your lover, or with your friend, or with your wife or husband, just ask, inform, and discuss. I hope that first aid can fix most of the problems right there and then. I hope you enjoyed the video, but in the end I would like to say one core thing to everyone. Enjoy the day, have good time with your family, enjoy while you are at home. Don't really curse the virus a lot, rather spend time doing something productive. Prepare yourself for the coming times, and I am sure there will be good times soon. Enjoy guys, and please subscribe to the channel. Enjoy, bye bye.